Okay, so you should have everything outlined and ready to start coloring and things today. So looking at our Erik Able inspirations, he does a lot of this block coloring and makes like one area warm and then the other one's cool. So we're going to try to keep that contrast idea with those warm and cool colors, and then as well as adding those values so you can tell where the lights are and the really darks compared to everything. So looking at these, I'm going to keep these for our inspiration, and I kind of labeled my colors so I wouldn't forget. And remember, with mixed medium, he used all different things. You can use crayons, you can use markers, you can use colored pencils. It's up to you, whatever mediums you want to use. And then I also have watercolors for today. I will say that if you want to use all of these, you should start with the table ones first and then the watercolors, because the table small supplies, it's really hard to color on wet paper. So I hope that makes sense. We don't want to color on wet paper because it's going to cause your paper to rip. But if you want some areas in a different color blue, like maybe you want some really dark blues for your waves, go ahead and color those in first. Because you know watercolors can be really bright and translucent and see-through. That's the whole point of them. So if there's some areas that you want to darken, like one half of the wave, go for it, like how he does. And then you can go through with your watercolors afterwards. But with mixed medium, these first, because like I said, you can't use colored pencil on top of wet paper. It will rip. So sticking with that idea and the darkness and the lightness, your watercolors are probably going to be your lighter colors. And also, you should try to keep your watercolors for the big areas because you can do that quickly. So I'm looking here, and I'm going to probably start with my sun because it's in the back. And I'm going to do the red and the orange and the yellow. Make sure to always rinse your watercolor brush first because you never know, the class before you might not have cleaned your watercolor brush. That's nice and clean. So I'm going to start with my lightest color, which is my yellow. That way I keep it nice and clean today. And I'm going to do my big areas. Because pretend I already am done with all my crayons and all my colored pencils, and now I can start painting. So smart thing is to always start with all like one color at a time and then do your big area. So I might want some yellow in my tree, and I'm not going to do the whole tree yellow. I'm just going to do like a line for a highlight. Maybe I want some yellow up here on the top of it. I didn't add that, but go for it. And then before you change colors, reminder, rinse your brush thoroughly. It should be nice and clear when you're done. Then go to your next color. So kind of working my way down the rainbow helps from keeping your colors from getting them dirty. So it's kind of how we're going to flow with it today. And this paper isn't the nice paper like I gave for you. So kind of getting soggy already. And then last but not least, remember that watercolors are a layering paint. That means that once you're done with one layer, to make it darker, you do another layer. So once it's dry, you can keep layering and layering and layering until you get the desired color that you want. Okay? So working my way down the rainbow. At red. Start with your warms or your cools, pick a color palette, and then go your way down the rainbow. And it will help from getting your yellows and all of your paints yucky and muddy. All right? Hope you enjoy and have some fun making some waves and some splashes. Other thing you can also do is called wet on wet technique. I think I've taught this before. Add wet paper and then just doop. And since this isn't watercolor paper, it's not spreading, but there you go. And it will spread out and make like a really cool effect for waves.